Well, it looks like it's going to be a while before we find out if the trial is going to go on as planned. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer. Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Okay, so we had on the case summary yesterday something show up about a hearing upcoming. Now, we already knew about the alt perp hearing that was supposed to be happening on June the 18th. There was a schedule that was talked about in the May hearing that we watched live here on this channel regarding the alternate perpetrator evidence that the defense was wanting to show to the court. They had until a certain date to turn in a certain amount or all of their information. The state then had a certain time frame in which to respond to that information, and then there was going to be a hearing about what to do with it. Well, now that they had the gag order leak, and now more leaks are starting to come about, because usually once one pops up, here comes 1,000, the same way like whenever you win the lottery, all of a sudden people come out the woodwork and know you. It's pretty much the same concept here. Well, now that the gag order violations are under some sort of special investigation, the defense team filed a motion to continue or to delay or completely just get rid of the trial happening very, very soon here. We went over their reasonings in like a preview video. I've honestly been off of the internet for a while, so I haven't even gotten to read the remainder of the document itself. We've gone over the context and the table of contents, telling us exactly which rules and what issues they were going to be arguing when it comes to delaying or vacating completely this upcoming trial. So besides violations and all these different rules and all these other things being cited when it comes to the reasoning, they also had information regarding the gag order violations. It's a rather lengthy motion. Now, what we're not seeing is the state responding to the motion to continue that was filed by the defense. Normally, whenever the state doesn't want something to happen, they're really quick to respond. Like, honestly, really quick to respond. So I don't know if we're just not seeing it, because I'm not seeing it in the case summary either. I went and glanced at it earlier today to see if I maybe missed something, and I'm not seeing it. And we're not seeing it in the public filings either. We're not seeing anything stating that they agree with it, but now we have the motion to continue being added on to the alternate perpetrator hearing date for June the 18th. Now, as you can see here, the one for the motion to continue will be unsealed, so we should be able to watch it live the way we normally do here on this channel, where it is full screen and uninterrupted, and I am in the chat just watching along with you guys. And then later on in the evening, we'll go live and we'll discuss what happened, if there's any decisions, and whatever the highlights might be. But the alternate perpetrator hearing, that portion is going to be sealed, which we pretty much thought that to begin with. Now, somebody in the comments, whenever I posted this portion of the updates in the community tab, said that they believe that the portion of the alternate perp information getting to we actually have a hearing is maybe a reference to there being substantial information being submitted, or they could just be, par for the course. I guess we'll find out, hopefully. Now, besides that, we've also had lists for witnesses from both sides being submitted. They've been going back and forth when it comes to jury questionnaire and the instructions. And the defense has now filed their 23rd supplemental response for discovery. Ann Taylor must still believe that something important is missing, and she's waiting for them to hand it over. But other than that, that's the update so far in the Idaho versus Bryan Kohberger case. There is some movement in the Lily and Jack Sullivan situation. Those are the two missing siblings out of Nova Scotia. There's been a family member come forward to clear up a few things. There's been some text messages come out. There's been some other information come out. I'm going to try to get some of that put together tonight and hopefully have it posted first thing in the morning. And hopefully, fingers crossed, minus them being found and there being a true answer, it is the most updated information to date. Again, fingers crossed. We always hope that we don't have to put a video out. As a matter of fact, there's been 4. There's been 4 cases that I've done a video on, and right whenever I was either getting to the end of editing or I had been like literally in the middle of it downloading or right in the middle of it uploading and getting ready for it to post, news broke. And it never ever went out there. I never talked about it. It just stayed a thing that I just knew about. And I'm fine with that because that's what we want. We want answers. Regardless of what that means, we want answers. So I'm really just hoping for some here because two little babies, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, there's just some circumstances. Again, I'm going to be trying to get all that together here tonight and hopefully post it tomorrow morning. If you are here for the Idaho case but have no idea what that case is about, keep an eye out for it. It's an interesting one, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about that one as well. But for now, down in the comments, let me know how you guys are feeling about us having to now wait for an answer regarding there being a possible delay or a possible vacate completely of the trial. I don't want that. I really don't want that. I'm going to put that in another video. I'm going to have a discussion about technicalities and things like that because I think that people believe that because we have a lot of questions here, or at least I have a lot of questions here, that I am like hopping and jumping and skipping for joy that there could be some sort of technicality. No, that doesn't answer anything. It doesn't answer anything. And even if I do agree at this moment in time that they might actually have the wrong guy here, the technicality stuff doesn't do anything if the truth from both ends doesn't actually come out. If the evidence never gets presented and the answer never gets told, it does nothing. I want us to get to trial. I want us to get to trial so that both sides have to put everything out there, so that the state has to come out and throw their hand and show us exactly what they've been claiming and apparently promising, according to some, that is so strong when it comes to evidence that none of this other crap matters. That all this stuff about the IgG and the knife sheath and the DNA and all this stuff, it's all for nothing and just a big old fight for nothing, and it's been all for nothing. They've got it all. The DNA is not it. They've got this. I want to see it. I want to see it. So even if some sort of technicality still pops up somewhere, there should still be a way for us to get to the path to where the evidence gets laid out in front of us and we don't have to wait. The families don't have to wait, because that's the biggest deal here. If that happens, what happens to the family's knowledge of things? If this stays under a gag order because now we have corruption, boom. Evidence problems, boom. People corrupt as hell, boom. FBI corrupt as hell, duh, boom. What if we have all of that? So therefore the families have to have delayed justice as well when it comes to knowledge of the final moments of their children's lives. That's not fair. Regardless of how anyone feels, that doesn't need to happen here. It just doesn't. So let's hope that something happens and we actually get to trial and there's no crazy shit. But a bunch of stuff needs to be addressed. Because for Hitler to just do nothing at all when it comes to this gag order leak, whenever his very first order was to the state, with all of the responsibility and all of the accusations and all of the blame being on the state, I don't know how he can't act, because that's the rules. That's the reason why the rules were written the way that the rules were written for what just happened. But I don't really think we should be happy about that. There's a gray area, guys. I'm going to always be in that gray area. I want the proof. I want the evidence. I want the truth. I don't really care what it shows. I don't care where it leads. We all need the truth. The families the most. But the victims don't get any sort of justice until their stories are told. And right now they're being kept under one of the thickest seals I think I've ever seen in my life. This is actually insane. Actually insane. But let me know what you guys are thinking about all of this right now down in the comments. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And please don't forget to make sure that that notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. See y'all.